guys, I am back. I know it's been a long time since I've actually done any videos, um, but I will get more into that in another video. I just wanted to do a quick update. Today is the 20th of January. It is currently, what time is it? 10:34 p.m. at night. As you can see, I look like trash. I am sick. Um, I've had a really bad run with head colds and that. I got sick for Christmas, sick for New Year's, and it's now my birthday on the 24th of January, and I'm sick again. I have a feeling like it could be my body getting used to new medication, so I'm a little bit run down. But yeah, but I wanted to do kind of like a vlog style video. Um, actually, I wanted to do more of these type videos this year, so I am going to show you what I've been up to. So these kind of vlogs are going to be about reading, my knitting, crafting, all that type of stuff. So yes, so I'm going to spin the camera around and I'm going to show you what I have been up to. So bear with me here. I'm sitting in bed. I've actually been, I finished work at 2. I got home by almost just before 3 o'clock, and I've kind of like I had something to eat, and then I literally had a shower, and then I went to bed, and I've been napping on and off since this afternoon because I've just felt terrible, and it is so hot here. um, it just feels so gross, and it's like the humidity is ridiculous, but we did have an amazing um, thunderstorm and rain, and I love thunderstorms and rain. And yeah, so anyway, back to what I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to spin the camera around and show you what I have been up to. So I am currently reading Last One Home by Debbie Maycomber. I actually got this book not last year but the year before from Target for like $5. I was so excited because Debbie Maycomber is one of my favorite authors. I really enjoy her work. Her writing is great, and I don't know, I just really love her stories. So this particular one here is about a woman named Cassie. Cassie is, I want to say, around 31 years old. She has a 12-year-old daughter, and when she was 18, she made a silly mistake and she fell pregnant and ran away with her then boyfriend, who she marries. And basically, when she ran away, it kind of split up her family. Like, it devastated her two sisters and her mum and her dad. And when she ran away, she didn't have anything to do with her family because her boyfriend, who becomes her husband, was controlling and abusive, and he used to beat her. And so, fast forward in time, she finally divorces this monster, and she no longer has to deal with an abusive husband, but she is a single mom, and she has a daughter who um, she's trying to raise, and she's doing it tough, and she works extremely hard, and she has just been dealt some really rough cards, and she's trying really hard to mend the fences between her and her sisters. Now, I am almost done, actually. I'm currently on page 294, and I think it only goes to like 369. I'm really liking it. She is currently working with Habitat for Humanity, I think it's called, and she has gone through quite a lengthy application process, and she has been granted a house through Habitat Humanity, and they are currently building her house. And of course, she volunteers what they call sweat equity, which is you have to put in 500 hours of work, volunteer work, to get this house, basically. So that's what they're currently up to, and the guy that is overseeing the building of her house, she kind of starts to develop feelings for her as well. And I just really like the dynamic between Steve, which is the guy helping build the house. He's got his own issues. His wife passed away, I think, 2 years prior, and he still is dealing with the loss of his wife. Like, he's never like really dealt with it, and so the fact that when he meets Cassie and he starts developing feelings for her kind of steamrolls him a little bit. But yeah, so this has been really enjoyable so far. I do want to try and get this finished tomorrow because I've kind of read nothing basically this January. But yeah, so there's that. Now, on to what I'm currently knitting. Now, I can crochet. I'm not like the best crocheter in the world, but I've been crocheting for years. It's easy for me to crochet, but I've never knit anything before, like ever, at all. And I was watching Steeped in Books. I believe her name is Sarah here on YouTube, and I love her channel. She reads like romance books, which I love romance books, and like the Harlequin um, romances and all that sort of stuff. But she knits, and I only stumbled across her a few months before Christmas last year, and she was knitting like socks, and I just became obsessed. I love knitted socks. I think they look beautiful, and I was obsessed about wanting to knit socks. So I went out, I bought some sock yarn, I bought some circulars, I got a 2.25 Addy. This is what they look like. And I was determined I was going to knit. I found a pattern online, it was a free pattern. I tried knitting toe up, but because I've never knit before, I really didn't know what I was doing. I found that too hard to knit toe up. So I knit cuff down for the time being, and I think once I get a hang of actually knitting, I'll be able to then convert toe up. But at the moment, I'm knitting cuff down. This is just like a 2x2 rib, and it kind of like it's a, I don't want to call it a self-striping because these are really big chunks, but like it has the different colors basically. Um, so this is what it looks like so far. This is the front of it. Um, this is the back of it. I'm knitting these for my fiance, by the way. He's really big feet. So this is what it looks like. The heel is a little bit different to what I was seeing on YouTube. Actually, believe it or not, the pattern for this, the lady who created the pattern also has instructional YouTube videos, which is how I learned how to do this. Now, I am well aware this is not the most perfect sock. Like, there are a few little areas where I could do better, but like for my first try of knitting anything, I think this is a pretty good attempt. Now, this heel is you knit the heel flap, as you can see here, and then you have the gusset on the side, if that makes sense. Yeah, so you see you knit the heel flap, and then you pick up stitches and you knit the gusset here. So that's what it looks like, but I just don't know how I feel about it. We'll see. It actually does fit my fiance quite well so far. I have had him try it on. Obviously I haven't finished, I haven't got the toe in yet, but it does actually fit him really well. I just don't know how I feel about the heel. I think I prefer, I think it's called a fish lips heel or fish kiss heel. I don't know. I'm sorry, I honestly don't know knitting terminology, you guys, but yeah, I think I prefer the look of the other heel than this particular one. But for my first time ever knitting a sock, this pattern has been quite easy for me to follow, so I do really enjoy that. I am knitting the foot section. As you can see, here's a heel and here's a foot. Like I said, my partner has big feet. Here's a size 11. in Australian, which I think is about a 46 or a 47 European. Like he's just got really long feet. And this is the yarn I'm using is Motivera. Motivera, I'm pretty sure, is a Spotlight yarn here in Australia. Spotlight is like a craft store. I believe it's their yarn. It's called Perfect Pair, so it comes in two 50-gram balls of this. Like, it's obviously not a ball now because I've been knitting with it, but yeah, and the color doesn't have like a color name. It's just like a, I don't know what you call this. I don't want to call it a self-striping because it's not self-striping, but you get what I mean. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm quite close to finishing this sock, and then I'll start the other one. I'm actually considering, do excuse my voice, guys, it's terrible. I'm actually considering getting another set of circulars, so another set of these, and knitting both socks at once. So knit the cuff on one, then knit the cuff on one, so that I complete them at the same time instead of just knitting one sock at a time. But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing. I will update you more tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It's my day off tomorrow. I'm going to try and take it easy because I'm really, really hoping I can kick this head cold before Friday, my birthday, because I put in annual leave for the Thursday because I work Thursday nights, so that I could have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off for my birthday and then go back to work on Sunday, because my normal days off are Fridays and Saturdays, like my weekends, and I wanted to take the Thursday night off because I work in retail and I'm sick again. Oh, I feel terrible. Like, it's hard to describe though. Like, I don't feel like flu. You know how the flu just hits you and you feel like you've been hit by a truck? I don't feel like that. I just feel tired, and like my head just feels like stuffed up. And I don't even have a sore throat or anything, but you know how you just get that like irritated kind of like tickle? That's what it is, and it's just so irritating. And because I work in retail, I sell for a living. Like, I actually have to sell to people. And it's not like, clothing where you can just, like, the customer walks in, gets what they want, and then you just serve them. No, I actually have to put in a conscious effort to sell the items that I sell to my customers. So sometimes I can be with a customer for an hour and I've got to talk constantly. So I worked 5 hours today. It's not long, but when you're constantly talking and you're in air conditioning, and you're like talking in air conditioning, and it's just, I felt crap. Like, and once you stop, it all just kind of hits you. That's what happened when I got home this afternoon. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to cut it here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hey guys, I am back. Today is Thursday the 23rd. I didn't film Tuesday or Wednesday because, like I said on Monday, I am sick and I was coughing a lot, and I just didn't think I'd be able to edit all of that out of the video. Like, I was coughing so much, you guys. I'm still sick, I'm still coughing, but it's not as bad today. So I wanted to give you an update on what I've been doing. I look like trash because I'm sick, like I said, and I'm not wearing makeup or anything like that because I don't care. I don't want to wear makeup, and it's so hot. It's 33 degrees here, which is around about, I want to say about 91 Fahrenheit. But the humidity is 79%, you guys, and it's the humidity that is killing me. Because, like, obviously I'm hot because I'm sick, but I'm also hot because the humidity is disgusting. But I wanted to show you some things that I have been knitting and reading and give you some updates on that. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what it is that I've been up to. Okay, so this is what I've been doing. I'm sitting in my bed at the moment because my bedroom is the only room in the house that has air conditioning. But I finished one of the socks that I've been knitting, and this is for my fiance, and I did it in like this beautiful kind of like cream gray black colorway. I really love it. It does look like quite a large sock because he has quite big feet, but I think it turned out pretty good. I did actually do the leg part shorter. I actually did the cuff shorter and the leg part shorter than the pattern called for because he didn't want too long of a length in the leg, and he doesn't really care for super long cuffs, so this cuff side length is quite good. It's about 3.5 centimeters, 3 to 3.5 centimeters in length there. Now this is the heel. I don't know what this heel is called because, like I said in my previous update, this is the first time I've ever knit anything before, so I don't really know what the terminology is for most of these things. I'm literally teaching myself off of YouTube how to do this. And I don't know how I feel about this heel, but my fiance did try it on and he said he liked it because his heel fits in this little section quite snugly, and you can see hang on, let's see if I can show you more properly on the side. So this is what it looks like. So you've got your heel flap here, and then you have your gusset. So there is a line here where the heel flap obviously joins to this part here where you start your gusset, and there's obviously a band that comes through here where your gusset starts as well. And so he said his heel fits in that section quite nicely and it feels comfortable and snug, not too tight or anything. So he said he likes it and it feels really comfortable, so that's the main thing. But this is the foot, you guys. That's the heel to the toe. Like, he has really big feet. I did do a Kitchener stitch on the toe. It's the first time I've ever done a Kitchener stitch. I honestly had no idea what it even was until I googled it, and then I watched a YouTube, well, several YouTube tutorials until I found one that made sense to me. I think it came out alright. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I like it. I think it's alright. But that's what it is anyway. So I have finished one sock, you guys, and then I have casted on the next one, and I'm not gonna lie, this took me a bit to cast on. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but I just kept messing it up and it just wasn't working right, and I probably recast that on like 6 times yesterday because I finished that sock on Tuesday. I recasted these on yesterday, which was Wednesday, and I will be honest, I was so mad at it. I was getting so frustrated because I'd cast it on and then I just somehow messed it up. So I've finally fixed it. It seems to be working good now, and yeah, so everything seems to be alright. But that's what it looks like so far. It is a cuff down sock. I haven't figured out how to do a toe up sock yet. We'll get to that. Onto the books. Okay, I have finished this book, Last One Home by Debbie Macomber. I love her writing. I think her writing is fantastic. Her books are great. I know this book in particular, though, did get some mixed reviews on Goodreads. There are some people that said they didn't like it and felt like the ending of the book was rushed. I don't particularly feel like that. I feel like, okay, yeah, the ending probably did come quicker than what you expected it to. Like, I don't mean like that. I just mean like you get through 90% of the book, and then the ending happens quite quickly. But to me, I felt like while I was reading this whole book, I was already gearing up for the ending. So I knew, like, not that I knew what the ending was going to be, but I knew that the ending was coming. So, like, I don't really feel like that. But I really loved Cassie in this. Cassie is our main character. I really love Steve. Steve is not the main character, but like the second main character. I don't know what you want to call it. But he was lovely, and there were parts of the story that kind of irritated me a little bit. Not the writing or anything, but just the characters themselves and their actions. So Cassie, if you haven't watched, sorry, not if you haven't watched, if you haven't read this book before, don't know what it's about. Cassie is, I'm just trying to think how long it's been. I don't know. She was in a violent, abusive marriage. I'm not entirely sure how long she hasn't been with her husband, but it's been a while. Her husband would physically beat her to the point where she would pass out, she'd have broken bones, she'd have injuries to her face. At one point there, she thought that he was going to kill her. Like, she truly did believe that. So she finally gets away from her abusive husband, and then years down the track to like now in the book, she is obviously got her life on track. She has a 12-year-old daughter. She's working really hard. She's building a house with Habitat for Humanity for herself, and she's working, like volunteering all these hours to obviously pay off this house, because that's part of the conditions of this house. And Steve, who is the builder for Habitat of Humanity, they clash in the beginning, but then it's obvious that they're going to fall for one another. This is not a spoiler. It's obvious from the beginning. But she was treating him as if he was her ex-husband, and he said repeatedly in this book, like, you know, I am not disgusted. Well, I'm just gonna say, like, he said to her repeatedly, I'm hurt that you would compare me to your husband, because I've never given you any reason to compare me to that man. Like, that he was physically violent to you, and I've never done anything like that type of thing. And so it kind of did annoy me a little bit. And before anyone says anything about that, like, I don't have experience with that or anything, I do. My mum was in a physically abusive marriage with my dad. I witnessed a lot of it. I was also on the receiving end of some of it. So I do understand, like, the way people feel and everything like that. But if you truly do want to move on, and she's also a volunteer to help other women of domestic violence move on with their lives, and she constantly tells people all the time, you cannot treat other people and compare other people like your husband, because they're not your like your ex-husband type of thing, right? But then she wouldn't do the same for herself. So that kind of irritated me a little bit, because I just wanted to shake her and be like, wake up to yourself. This man has given you no reason for you to think this of him. But that's the only thing that annoyed me, to be honest with you. I really loved this. There was a part in here where Cassie, Cassie, the main character, she is disconnected from her family because of her ex-husband. She ran away with her ex-husband when she was 18, and then he kept her away from her family. So she has two other sisters that she hasn't seen in like 12 years, and they do reconnect, which I think is great. One of the sisters, though, has something, I'm not going to say what it is because it will ruin it, because it does prepare you for the next book. But one of the sisters has something happen to her in her life, like at the end of the book, and her mother-in-law comes to her to tell her about something that is going to affect her and her son's life. And I just think that the moment between
her sister Nicole, and then the mother-in-law was really a beautiful moment. Like, it was a sad moment because of what it was that she had to tell her daughter-in-law, but it was also a beautiful moment because she wanted to spare her daughter-in-laws, like she wanted to spare her daughter-in-law the humiliation of going through her whole entire life turning a blind eye to the situation, and the price that you pay for like turning a blind eye. So yeah, so I thought that was really a nice moment. Obviously not a nice situation, but like just a nice moment that this mother-in-law cared for her so much that she would do that. So yeah, so I really like it. I do recommend this book. I think Debbie May Comer's writing is amazing, and I definitely can't wait to read more in this series. I think there's only 4 books in this series. I could be wrong, but I think there's only 4. So yeah, so anyway, that's that. Moving on. What else am I reading? Well, let me just grab them. I am reading Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. This book is translated from Russian, and it's translated by Julia Metov-Hersey. I probably butchered that name. But it is a really good book. I haven't got super far into it because I'm going to be honest, guys, I've been procrastinating so much lately. But I am enjoying it so far. I'm up to page, what are we, 127. And I've got my cat bookmark in there. My fiance bought that for me at Christmas time. This is a weird book, you guys. It's set in Russia because obviously it's written by Russian authors, or actually I think the authors are Ukrainian. But like, it's set in Russia. I don't know when this originally was published, but it was originally translated to English in, I believe, 2018. But it is got some magical elements to it. Not the type of magic like in Harry Potter, but the magic's there. It's not ever explained to you what the magic is or how it works, but it's present in the book. It's a weird book. It honestly is. It's about a girl who is about 16. She goes on holiday with her mother and she meets this guy who she believes is stalking her because he seems to appear everywhere she is. He's an older man, and he eventually talks to her and says that she has to perform these tasks every day at the exact same time, and if she doesn't, bad things will happen. Like, there's consequences. So she does this, and then one day she accidentally misses it, and then something bad happens, and then he says to her basically, well, the consequences of this time isn't too bad, however next time it will be really bad. So that keeps going. Then she goes home from her holiday, and then he turns up at her house and was like, okay, you have to perform another task every day, same time, same thing will happen. If you miss anything, there will be really bad consequences. So she continues to do these, and after each day of performing the task, she goes back home and she throws up these coins. And then these coins, she has to keep them because they are her admission into this magical university. And then so she does this for about a year and a half, and then she ends up, getting admitted into this magical university in a town. I think it's pronounced Torpa. I could be wrong here, because some of the names are Russian and I don't know how to speak Russian. So that's kind of where I'm at. She's attending this university. It's weird, guys. Like, the textbooks that they read don't make sense, and like there's like weird things that happen, but it's not really explained. Like, there's like physical changes and mental changes in the characters while they're studying this magical sort of stuff, but it's not ever explained in the book as to like why they're studying what they're studying or what's going to happen once they finish. I know that's not really the best explanation, but I don't really know how else to describe it. I haven't got far enough into the book yet to really understand what's going on. However, I'm enjoying it. It's definitely got a very Russian feel to it, even though it's obviously in English, and I feel like some of the nuances could be obviously missed, being the fact that it is a translated work, but it definitely has a very Russian feel to it. There is like the descriptions are obviously very Russian because it's set in Russia, so you get a feel for like the different parts of Russia, which I love, 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 love that. I love anything to do with Russia. And I have a feeling like this was written a little while ago, because it feels older than now, basically. Like, I don't know, was it written in the 90s maybe, or the early 2000s? I'm not sure, but it kind of has that feel to it. But I really am enjoying it so far. The next book I'm reading is The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden. Edith Holden is the actual lady who wrote this. This is her diary. Well, it's a replica of her diary. In 1906, Edith wrote a diary of her days in the garden, in the countryside, and what she saw in her gardens, the different type of birds and bugs and animals and plants and things. And she kept a diary, and she did watercolors, and just everything is just so beautiful and amazing, and I really enjoy this. I know this is not everyone's idea of a great book, but I love this so far. Yeah, it says Nature Notes for 1906 by Edith B. Holden. It's really beautiful, and it's a year in the garden, basically, by Edith Holden, and it's gorgeous. I love it. So really enjoying this. I want to say about halfway through it. So yeah, so that's what I'm currently reading. I also want to show you a couple of other things before my battery dies. I do have a bullet journal this year. I never know how to pronounce this. Is it Luckstrom? I don't know. You guys know what it is. This is in the Nordic blue color, and I have it set up for reading, my reading journal. So this is my reviews in pixels. So I've got the keys, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, DNF'd it and not completed. So as you can see, right up until the 21st, I haven't completed any books. And then yesterday on the 22nd, I completed my first book, which was the Debbie Mokammer one, and I rated it 5 stars. So that's what I'm doing. This month's theme is apples. I just liked it. I got the inspiration for this off of Pinterest. This is my monthly view. I have a color-coded key for my month, so instead of having to write in these small boxes, I just have a colored square that matches for things. So that's that. This is my book bingo. Now, I created my own book bingo because I don't like TBRs, because I'm not a structured reader. I am a mood reader, and I just cannot stick to a TBR. So I figured if I created my own book bingo, it gives me such a huge option of books to read. There are 16 books. I'm not going to read 16 books in a month. I'm not that fast of a reader, but it gives me 16 options so I don't feel trapped in my TBR. So I created these prompts for me. These prompts are based on what I personally enjoy. This is the prompts right here. I have one of these for every month of the year. Some of them I haven't finished filling in the prompts yet because I haven't come up with prompts, but yeah, so this is one's kind of based on like New Year, my birthday, and like new fresh starts at beginnings type of thing. And also summer, because we're in the middle of summer here. So that's that. I also have my mood tracker because I just like the idea of a mood tracker. So I've got that. My page is red. This is what that looks like. I just did a bar graph. I actually really like a bar graph. I think the visuals of it is really good. As you can see how I've been reading, you can see I don't read much every day. Some I do read more than others, and some I read tiny, and some I don't read at all. But that's kind of that. I've got my reviews. This is what I've done. So when I finish a book, this is what happens. I write the title, the author, if it was a book, an ebook, or an audio book, what I rated it, if I'm keeping it or unhauling it. And that's what I do for that section. I've only got 2 pages because I know I'll probably won't read more than 4 or 5 books in a month. Sometimes I do, but good majority I don't. And this is my weekly reviews, like my week at a glance. I did a different layout for each week so I could kind of get an idea of what I prefer, and I realized I prefer this type of layout. So that's what I've continued doing for February and onwards. But this is where we're at. Today's Thursday, the 23rd. And all of these I've watercolored. I did get some Van Gogh watercolors for my birthday, not my birthday, Christmas, that my fiance bought me. So yeah, so that's what we're up to. I wanted to put what I got for my birthday page here as well, which is tomorrow. I know what I'm getting for my birthday. I don't care about surprises for my birthday because it's not like, obviously my birthday is important, but to me, Christmas is more important. I like the surprises for Christmas, whereas for my birthday, I don't care. So I knew that I was getting books, and I also got yarn, and yeah, so that's what I did. And then this is just, yeah, and then I have an end of month wrap up so I can kind of reflect on my reading for the month. My camera's having a little trouble focusing. I'm like on 1 bar of my camera battery, but we'll see. And then we lead into the next month. So this is February. I did these beautiful pink flowers. And yeah, so I won't go too far into that, but that's what I'm using as a reading journal this year, and I'm loving it. I keep up with it. It's great. And then one more thing I wanted to show you is this. It's a magazine. This is the Cottage Journal, and the Cottage Journal bring out, I believe it's monthly magazines. I'm honestly not sure. But I bought the Christmas edition, obviously in December, and I fell in love with the magazine. I loved it so much. It's an American magazine, so we import it here in Australia. I'm not going to lie, this magazine is crazy expensive. It's $24. You guys, $24. So this is very pricey for a magazine, but I just love it, and it's just, you know, a nice little treat for myself. This one is, the name of the magazine is just the Cottage Journal, and then I guess each month has a different title on the thing. So I think last month's was Cozy Christmas Cottages, and then this month is Southern Cottages. And obviously because this is an American magazine, the content is based on their seasons. So Americans are in winter at the moment, we're in summer. So this is a winter edition, but I love it because I would so much rather be in winter right now. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful, like, magazine. I enjoy this. I just love reading about all the different things. I know this is not for everyone, but it just, I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, so if you have the money to buy this magazine, I do recommend it. It's expensive, I know, but if you have the money to treat yourself, check it out, or flip through it while you're in your news agency just to see if you think you like it. If you're in America, you're lucky because it only costs, where is it? It only costs $12.99 in the US and $15.99 in Canada. So way cheaper. But yeah, so anyway guys, that's what I am up to. I'm actually going to stream, I've got Chromecast in the bedroom, so I'm going to stream probably some YouTube videos. I've been binge watching Steeped in Books. Sarah, who owns Steeped in Books, is a YouTuber that I come across towards the end of last year and fell in love with her channel. She reads romance books, mostly Harlequin, and I have been watching the backlog of her vlogs from 2019. So yeah, I think I'll probably do that and watch her vlogs. She does knitting as well, which is what inspired me to knit socks, because her socks are always so beautiful. And yeah, and that is kind of all. I will probably not update you again today, but I will update you tomorrow on my birthday for my 31st, and I'll show you the books that I got for my birthday. I can't show the yarn yet because the yarn is not here yet. It'll take 1 to 2 weeks, I believe, to get here, because it is hand dyed yarn. I got it from a website called Ruby Fox Yarns here in Australia. I think they're based in Gladstone. Well, no, Grafton, sorry. Grafton. But yeah, so it said on their website 1 to 2 weeks. It's been about almost a week, so yeah, so when they arrive I'll show you those as well. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave it here, and I will see you guys tomorrow with some more updates, and I'm going to charge this camera battery. So yeah, alright, bye. Hey guys, I am back with another update. I'm still sick, so still look like this. It is the 24th of January, Friday, so it is my birthday today. I'm 31. Wow, that went fast. But I'm in my bedroom. You're going to see me a lot in my bedroom, sitting on my bed doing these types of videos, like these vlog-ish reading update kind of videos, because it's the only room in the house that has air conditioning, and it's just too hot everywhere else. It's about 35 degrees, which I could be wrong here, it's like mid to high 90s in Fahrenheit. I could be wrong there. And it's about 70 something percent humidity, which is crazy today. So hot. I can't deal with this heat. But anyway, I wanted to share with you the books that I got for my birthday, because I did get a few books, so I am really excited about that. I also got yarn for my birthday, but it's still coming because it's hand-dyed yarn. It takes 1 to 2 weeks to be ready to ship out, so it's been about a week. So in about another week's time I will get that, and I will show you guys that as well. But I'm going to start with the books that I got today. So my nan was really sweet. Every year I tell her, don't give me anything. You don't need to, because there are a lot of children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren in my family, and both my nan and my papa are retired, so my nan always feels guilty about not getting people presents, but I always tell her every year I am totally happy with just a card. But this year she sent me a card because she lives in a different state to me, and she snuck in $20. So that was really sweet of her, and I was grateful for it, but I told her don't do it next year. But so with the $20, I went to Kmart and I got some books. I got 2 books for $20. $20 doesn't get you many books these days. But I got 2 books. The first one I got is A Rainy Day Kisses by Debbie Macomber. And it's this one here. And Debbie Macomber is one of my all-time favorite authors. This is part of the Mills and Boon best-selling author collection. And this actually has a second story written by Debbie Macomber in it called Wanted Perfect Partner. So there's actually 2 books in one. They're not very big, as you can see, but I was really excited to see that. Anytime I see a Debbie Macomber book for a good price, I snag it. This was like $10. So I mean, it's a little bit pricey for a thin book like this, but it's more expensive everywhere else, so $10 was a bargain. And the stories are only like, where are we? I'm just trying to find it. The first one's 184 pages, and the second one is 140. 147 pages, so they're short romance stories basically. So I was really excited to get that. So that's that one. And then the second book I got with the money that my nan gave me is this one. This is, I'm presuming I'm pronouncing this right, but Gorky Park by Martin Cruz Smith. And this was written before I was actually even born, this book. But I love anything to do with Russia. I just am really intrigued by the Russian culture, like their folklore, their history, and things like that. And so I love reading books set in Russia or from Russian authors and about Russia. And this one is obviously Russian. The author is not Russian, but the book is about it. So this is the first book in the series. It's the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Arkady Renko series. So basically, Katie Renko, I believe, is a detective. I don't know. But anyway, he basically, excuse me. In this particular book, there was 3 bodies, like obviously dead people, found frozen in the snow, and their faces and their fingers were missing. And so he is, yes, he's a chief, sorry. He's a homicide investigator who obviously goes to investigate said bodies. And to identify the victims and uncover the truth, he has to battle the KGB, the FBI, and the New York City police. So this is kind of really cool. Each book features a different thing in Russia or Russians in a different country, which I thought was really cool. So I am looking forward to reading this. I had been eyeing off this book for quite some time online, and it was like between, I think, $17 to $20 something. And when it comes to books, I'm a bit of a tight ass, I'll be honest. I just hate paying like exorbitant amounts of money for books. And then when I was in Kmart, it was on clearance for $6.30 because the 9th book in the series has just come out. So I snagged it for $6.30. And this book was published in, I think it was 81. Let's have a look here. Yeah, 1981. And I was born in 1989. So that goes to show you. So I'm really intrigued. I know I didn't really tell you much about the book. I don't really know a ton about it. Like, I try to go into my books without knowing too much about them. But I'm really intrigued by this, and I can't wait to read it and like continue on with the series, because the 9th book was just released, I think, end of last year. So really excited for that. So that's that. And I forgot to tell you about what these 2 books are about, and that's because I don't know. I don't know what they're about. I pick up any Debbie May Kramer. So that's all I got with the money from my nan, and then the rest of the books I got them from my fiance for my birthday. I knew I was getting these. I picked them out because for birthdays aren't like the hugest deal for us. We celebrate, like our big deal is more Christmas. So we don't care if we know what our presents are when it comes to birthdays. So I got 3 books and 2 kids books. So I will show you what the kids ones first. I got this one here. It's the Animated Classics Disney The Lion King, and these books are just beautiful and to die for. I love these. I collect kids books, especially the classic books like this and like the special type editions. This has a texture to it. It feels amazing. And the artwork on the front is just stunning and has gold foil, and oh, it's so beautiful. And I'm going to be honest, The Lion King was not my favorite movie growing up. It made me cry when I was a kid. I was an emotional child. But I do appreciate it, and it's just beautiful. Like, look at the end pages with Pride Rock. So gorgeous, and this is just a beautiful like children's book about Lion King. Like, look at that, you guys. It is so stunning, and the artwork throughout the book is completely different. Like, there's all different artwork, and then right at the back of the book, it has a little information about the movie and like Disney, like here, and then over here, the rest of the pages are actually all of the artists that contributed to this book, because every page has a different style of art to it. And so it has a little about the artists that contributed to that piece and what page it's on, and like what their job was for Disney type of thing, and what they did and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's really amazing. So I got that. If you are interested, these are at Kmart. I've only seen them at Kmart here in Australia, and they are $6. So yeah, there are actually 4 books out. There's a Little Mermaid, and I don't know what the other book is, but when I went to get them, 2 of them had sold out, and in particular Kmart that I was at, so I'll just have to wait till they're back in. And then the other children's book I got is Frozen. I know it's not like a classic from my time as a child, but this is a children's classic from today. This is again beautiful book, same sort of texturing, and this one has like a copper colored foil instead of the gold that the Lion King has, and it's just beautiful. You've got the end pages, which features a picture of Arendelle, however you pronounce it. Just stunning. And then again, it does go into like the story. So like here's the first sort of page. You've got more artwork, see like the different styles of art, and it's just stunning, like absolutely beautiful. And then again, in the back of this one, it has the page with a little bit about the art of Disney Frozen, and then like all of the artists and stuff that have worked on this book. So I'm really excited, and definitely excited to collect these books. I do have a collection of children's classics, and Frozen is also one of my favorite children's movies, so there's that. So those were the 2 children's books that I got. Now moving on to the last 3 books I got, they're actually the trilogy. And excuse me, still sick. These are, what do you call it? Not new, but I have always been intrigued by this series, but I've never bought it because the books are so expensive. They were always like $20-something for a book, and I was not paying that. I know that sounds cheap, but it is what it is. When you read as much as I do, you can't spend that much on books all the time, and I do have a lot of books. So I saw these again at Kmart for $10 each. So I got them. Well, my fiance got them. I told him what I wanted because he asked me, he's like, what do you want? He's like, do you want to know what you're getting, or do you want to keep it as a secret? I was like, I don't care if I know. And I told him what I wanted. He was like, all right, let's go get them. So first book is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, I should know what these are about, and I do have a vague idea, but I kind of have gone into this book with not wanting to know too much about them because I was obviously intrigued enough to want to read them, and I don't really want to spoil myself for them. But one of the things though that makes me really excited to read this, and if you're like myself and live under a rock and I've never seen these books, it's the format that they're written in. Like, it's so cool. So it's got like normal just text, and it's got emails, and there's looks like text conversations. There's like pictures. There's files. There's looks like retracted information, like retracted government information, like, you know, There's something called Unipedia. Eyes and I don't know. I'm guessing it's kind of similar to like a Wikipedia. I don't know, but it looks like this. There's like maps in here of the ship that they're on. Like, that just makes a book so exciting, you guys. And they are chunky books, but I've been told that because of the format of the book, it is an easy, fast read. So this is obviously book one, and it's obviously set way in the future in 2575, and we have a female and a male main character. Is it Katie or Caddy? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm just gonna go Katie. Katie and Ezra are forced to escape on evacuating fleet, and I guess there is some sort of plague or something that breaks out, and there's two mega corporations that are at war with one another over a planet, but the habitants of the planet are aware of that or aren't told of that. So that's like book one. I've got book two, which is Gemini, which is this one. This is quite a chunky one as well. Again, the formats are just amazing. Like, yes, this makes it so exciting. So I'm really excited about that. There is an invasion happening in the second one, and I want to say, let's see here. I think it's just an invasion. I'm not sure, but there's that. And then Obsidio, which is obviously book three. Again, another chunky one, and the same type of format as the previous ones, which I'm loving so much, you guys. And then this one is about Katie, Ezra, Hannah, and Nick. And yeah, I honestly don't know much about these. I just know they're set in space on spaceships, and it says on, which book is it? It's blurbed by Scott Westerfeld, and it says an exuberant mix of space opera, romance, zombies, hackers, and political thrills told with eccentric aplomb. So that was enough for me to, yeah, be excited for that. So anyway, guys, that is everything that I got for my birthday. I am really excited to read these. I have said in my, like, earlier this week that I do have like a book bingo TBR thing going on, which has like 16 books on it, and that's my reading lists. Like, I have one of those set up for each month of this year, and that's what I'm going to be reading. But I kind of really want to start Illuminate today, because I'm excited for this. I have not put this into my TBR because I've only obviously picked books for the first month. I picked some books for the other months, but not fully. And these two books here, I've already assigned to months. So this Debbie Maycomer book, I've assigned both of the stories in this to February because it's romance, and my TBR for February is based on romancy, Valentine's Day type things. And this one I have assigned to March because one of the prompts was to read a book with the title or the author starting with an M, and that is the author for this case, which is Martin Chris Smith. So this is assigned for March. So I'm going to be reading those in March. But I haven't put assignments to the other books that I got today. So yeah. So that's kind of all I got for that. And then now on to what I finished. I don't have a physical book, but let me see if I can show you. I was reading a book called Murder on New Year's Eve by P. Creedon. I subscribe to Kindle Unlimited, and it is on Kindle. Here we are. Okay, so I finished reading this book here. Let's hope that focuses enough for you to see it. This is a very, very short book. It's, I think, like 53 pages. It's around high 40s, early 50s. There's only very few pages. It's a cute book. I finished it yesterday. I actually started it on, I think it was like the 3rd of January, but I put it down because I just wasn't in the right mindset to read it. And then I picked it back up yesterday and read it. And it's very short, like I said, because it's like 53 pages, I think. And basically, it's about a murder that happens on New Year's Eve, and the main character, who is, I think her name Emma, Cassie, I don't know, I'm terrible. Let's just say, like, the main character, she's 20 years old, her father is the local sheriff, and the man that she is crushing on is also a police officer, and she's going on like a walk along while the guy that she likes patrols the New Year's Eve celebrations, like the lighting ceremony, and they meet like a quirky character, and things happen while they're there, and then someone calls in from the local lodge that's a little walk, like a short distance walk from the festivities that are going on, saying that they heard a gunshot, so they ran out and they found a dead body. So obviously someone gets murdered. Now, this all happens in like 53 pages, and I actually enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars only because I couldn't give it, I'm not like a harsh rater either, you guys. Like, I give 5 stars out all the time. So I'm not a harsh rater, but I gave this one 4 stars because I did really enjoy the book. I thought it was really cute. There was a cute little Saint Bernard in there, Molly, who's like a little puppy, and she was adorable. And I really liked the characters, and I even liked the plot of this story. But obviously, because it's a short story and like a very short story, they did have to like wrap it up quite quickly. So you find out who the murderer is pretty much almost straight away, and even before you're told who the murderer is, you can basically figure it out within seconds of reading, because obviously it's a short book, so it wraps up very, very fast. So I feel like the story, like the plot of this story, if it was fleshed out a little bit more, and maybe instead of making it like a 53-page book, if they fleshed it out maybe over, say, like Debbie May Kramer does with her short ones, 150 pages or something like that, I think it would have been a little bit better, because it could have added in some more detail and you could have got to know like the characters just a little bit more. But I still do recommend it. I think it's really, really cute, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. So if you do have that, that's where I read it. I just read it on my phone. But yeah, so that's everything, you guys, for my update. I really haven't done anything much else. I really need to get a move on my books over here. You can't really see it's out of frame, but on my bedside table I have Beta Nostra I need to finish, and I have the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden as well. I need to finish both of those. Loving both of them. I really enjoy them, but I think I'm just gonna do that and start this one, you guys. I think I'm gonna start Illuminae. I'm just really excited to read it, and like I'm excited about the other ones as well, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm just excited to read this, so I think I'm gonna start this, but I am definitely going to finish those other 2 books before the end of January. So how many days is that? Let's see, we've got we've got 7 days, so we've got a week. I think I can do it. I think I can do it, yeah. So yeah, I will catch up with you again later. Possibly not again today. It'll probably be tomorrow because I'm honestly not doing much because like I am sick. We decided that we didn't want to go out for my birthday because like I'm sick and I also don't want to make anyone else sick. So we are going to do like a barbecue here at home, and I also didn't want to pay like $30 to $40 for a store-bought cake from like the supermarket. Since when did store-bought cakes get so expensive, guys? Like they're not even fancy cakes, they're just plain cakes for like $30 or $40. And I don't want to spend that because my sister lives here in Brisbane, but like it's not like we see each other every day. We might see each other 3 times a year type of thing. And so it's just my fiance and I celebrating my birthday because all the rest of my family are either in New South Wales or way up to the top of Queensland. I'm down the bottom of Queensland. So like it's just me and my fiance, and we just do not eat that much cake. So to buy like a whole massive cake is just a waste of money for us. So I am actually making a cake with my fiance. We're going to do that tonight. We decided to do like a cook up and bake the cake later this afternoon, like late this afternoon, early nighttime, because it's way too hot. Our house is not air conditioned downstairs and it's like a sauna down there. But I'm just cooking just a plain vanilla cake. I was going to go chocolate, but I thought that might be a little bit rich on my throat. But I did pick a salted caramel icing to go on top though. Hey guys, so I'm back. It is the 26th of January, so it's Sunday today. Today is also Australia Day. I did have to work today, which is what it is. But I wanted to give you an update because I didn't update yesterday. No, I don't think I did. But I wanted to give you an update and close off this week and start a new week of vlogging, basically. Well, it's not really vlogging, it's more reading updates and crafting updates. So let's start off with my reading. I started reading Illuminae on Friday. I got Illuminae for my birthday, and I've been dying to read this book. It is 602 pages long. It's like a super long book. And I started it on Friday and I read like 300 pages on Friday, and then I read 186 pages of this yesterday, and I still have a little like this much left. As you can see, I'm using my birthday card as a bookmark. But I am really enjoying this book. It's really, really great. It's such an easy read, you guys, and so fast. As you can tell, like, I've literally read almost the whole book in 2 days. Like, this is so easy to read. And it's because of the format of the book. It's like, there's like emails, text conversations, there's what do you call it? Briefing notes, reports. There's also blood splatters, but there's like ship schematics in here. So it's just like a multimedia type book, and I love it, which is what makes it so easy to fly through. And it's so intriguing. Like, this story is great. So if you haven't read Illuminae like myself, Illuminae is basically about these 2 people. I believe her name is pronounced Katie, and Ezra. And Katie and Ezra are about 17, as it does turn 18 shortly after the book begins. And they were both dating, and obviously they broke up. She wanted something that he didn't want, so they broke up. And the day that they broke up, the little settlement on, I think it's pronounced Carenza, I could be wrong here, was basically attacked by another company, like a tech type company, and they had to escape the world that they lived on, into spaceships. And one of the team, like I think it's called Baytech, or I think that's how it's pronounced. They were the ones who attacked them, like their little settlement, and they used a bio weapon which causes an outbreak on one of the ships that rescues these people. And it's basically what happens throughout that process. And I'm not gonna lie, there was some pretty like intensely graphic medicines in this. There is a scene where a man kills his wife and children, in this book, so please be aware of this. And there is a lot of killing and death and violence in this book, so also be aware of that. But it's a really great book though. But I wanted to say there is that part about the family, like the man killing his family because he loses his mind based on this bioweapon that he was exposed to. And it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. Like, he killed his wife and his 3 kids, and the youngest was 4 years old. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I was not expecting that. So if you've not read this, be warned, it's in there. But yeah, so that's what I've up to tonight. I don't know if I'll pick this up tonight or not. I've got some stuff to do. I'm cleaning like my bedroom and organizing things and whatnot. I'm trying to I just have a lot of craft stuff and like books and things, but I just don't have a lot of space to put it. So I often stack things on the floor. So I'm trying to organize it all and get that situated. And then onto my knitting. I did start the other sock that I'm knitting. This is what I've up to so far. I've done the cuff, and then I'm doing the leg part now. I have made a couple of tiny little mistakes. I honestly don't know how I did them. But like I said, this is the first time I've ever knit socks, so it is what it is. And yeah, I'm just like really enjoying the process of doing this. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see like the finished set, but that's what I'm currently up to. So this is the second sock that I'm doing. So yeah, so that's everything, you guys. I am going to leave it here. I am going to try and possibly get some of this book read tonight. This is like an easy book, and I really should have finished this ages ago. I've just been procrastinating, but I'm going to try and read some of that tonight. And then I'm still reading this book as well. I just haven't picked it up as of, I don't know, this week, because I've been reading my other book and I've been procrastinating. But I really want to finish those 2 before the end of January. So I'm going to do that, you guys. So anyway, that is everything. I think I'm just going to wrap it up here tonight and be done with it. And I'm going to edit this, and it's probably going to be a long one, you guys. I like to chat. So hope you like long videos. And then I will start a new vlog, reading video, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow, which is the 27th of January. It's a public holiday tomorrow in Australia. Today is officially Australia Day, but tomorrow is the Australia Day public holiday. So I'm only working public holiday hours tomorrow, so I'm doing 10 till 2. My fiance's got the day off, so he'll be home, but I only have to work 4 hours tomorrow, so it's fine. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and get some reading done tomorrow afternoon and some knitting done tonight. And yeah, so I will catch you guys later. Bye!